Ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Set Plays, and this time I'm going to be tackling the one game that I know a lot of you have been wondering if I was ever going to get around to doing, and that is Bayonetta 2. I know I am sort of infamous, or I should say, I know for a fact that when it comes to me and my opinions about Bayonetta 2, it's a little bit on the infamy side because I tend to be pretty negative with Bayonetta 2. And I want you guys to understand that for the purpose of this stream, this isn't going to be me ranting about Bayonetta 2. It's going to be me just enjoying myself, just sitting back and relax and just, taking it all in, just playing it at face value. But if anything, I want to make it very clear that as I play through this game, I want to try my best to sort of explain my point of view on why it is I'm not exactly a huge fan of Bayonetta 2. But make no mistake, even though I make a lot of jokes online about how Bayonetta 2 is a bad game or how it's a trash game or it's a garbage game, the truth of the matter is, I actually don't think Bayonetta 2 is as bad as I myself make it out to be. It's actually a pretty good game, but since I'm one of those players that has been playing Bayonetta since the very first game and I've adapted myself to how good that game is, jumping into Bayonetta 2 and seeing all of these changes that were made in a way that sort of feels held back for the veteran players, for the skill players, in favor of the casual players, kind of leaves me feeling with wanting more, you know what I mean? It's a kind of a painful feeling, and the only thing I can really do to sort of ease the pain is to just always dunk on Bayonetta 2 any chance I get, which is why on Twitter I always make those jokes about how bad this game really is. But yeah, no, for this stream, this is going to be less of a walkthrough and more of a critical analysis about Bayonetta 2 and the faults that it has. But anything that I see that's good, I will praise for it. So don't worry about it. This is not a rant video. This is not going to be some angry rant. This isn't some angry Ralph video or anything of that nature. Please don't worry about it. Because I know a lot of you guys are, scared like, oh God, this guy's going to go to town on this game. He's not going to show remorse or anything like that. No, it's not going to be like that. Don't worry. It's just going to be a fun little stream where I get to kick back and enjoy myself and have fun. And I know that's what you all want. So let's not waste time. Let's do this. Let's go kick some ass. But before we actually proceed, I did this back in the very first episode of Bayonetta 1, and that's grouping this game. And I want to go ahead and do that. So let's see. For this, I'm going to edit the group and add... Where is that wonderful game? For some reason, it seems to be out of order here. Oh, no, wait, it's down there. There we go. Bayonetta 2 is being inducted into the Bayonetta Trilogy collection. There's only one more game missing, and I can't wait to put that in this collection once we get to that day. You know what I'm talking about. Hey, I see a lot of people are coming in here. Tai Surugi, what's going on, my dude? Thanks for catching the stream. I see Flying Ligmas here, Ultima Weapon 2000. I see Sly, I see Queen, I see iCollective. All you wonderful people coming in to watch this stream. I thank you all so very much. I'm very happy that there's lots of people that do enjoy watching the stuff that I have to do, even if I'm not. Well, in my personal view, I don't see myself as a significant Bayonetta fan among the community, but, I do what I do to get by, making these fun videos for all you guys. So, So let's go into the group, pick out Bayonetta 2. Let's get going. Let me go ahead and just put down. There we go. I know a lot of people do share the opinions that I have and Yoshesk has. I totally understand. But I'm going to try and do my best and explain why it is this game sort of rubs me the wrong way. But I don't want to do it in a way where I'm just going to be all, oh, I hate this game. Oh, this is so boring. No, because the fact of the matter is, this game is actually good. It's pretty good in its own merits. It's a fun game even. Now, just so you know, I have put in the time playing this game. This isn't a game that I was like, oh, I just played like 2 hours and decided it's bad. You can see that in my first save file, I put down 157 hours. So I think I know a little bit about this game, you know? And if you're wondering, for the second save file, at one point, I don't know if you guys remember, but at one point years ago, I was trying to do a Let's Play series for Bayonetta 2 the first time around. Unfortunately, that Let's Play series ended up being incomplete, mostly because I sort of just lost interest along the way. Hold on, let me drink some water. Ah, there we go. That feels better. I sort of lost interest in doing a Let's Play for Bayonetta 2. I just sort of scrapped it aside and ignored it for the rest of my time. But the reason why I've decided to revisit Bayonetta 2 is because I feel that it is my duty to actually do a much more fully fleshed out Let's Play for Bayonetta 2. And rather than continuing from where I left off, I would just start with a brand new save file. So that is exactly what I'm going to be doing here. So, as with any other games, this uses an autosave feature, so please do not pull out the game while it's saving. Who in their right mind actually does that? I've never seen anyone actually deliberately do that. Maybe by accident, but deliberately? I don't know. Okay, so I do want to talk a little bit about one thing that lots of people actually don't talk about very often, because I know this is something that most people just default to, and I actually want to take a little bit of my time here to talk about the controls, because Bayonetta 2 actually does something that Bayonetta 1 doesn't do, and that's give you customizable control options. But it's not what you think. We're still without a Bayonetta game that allows you to fully customize the buttons any way you want, which I think is very important that a game should have. And unfortunately, Bayonetta does not have that. The first game doesn't have that, and the second game doesn't have that. Instead, what we have here for Bayonetta 2 is default choices, or I should say preset control options. Now, Type A is the one that was made for this game specifically. And this control setup, for a long time, I was trying to wonder why it is that this scheme is what most people prefer. And I think I understand why most people like Type A more, because this is the one that allows you to lock onto enemies and be able to evade with a dodge at the same time. Because in this control scheme, they made it where the lock-on button is the left trigger, and they made the weapon changing the right bumper. And I always thought that was kind of weird, but I get what they were going for. They wanted to make sure that players were able to use both of these at the same time. I guess they did this change because in Bayonetta 1, I don't know if you remember, because I brought this up in the first Let's Play, but one of the things that Bayonetta allows you to do is change your dodging ability based on whether or not you're holding down the lock-on button. When you hold down the lock-on button, the jump button becomes the dodge button. And that's because Kamiya knew ahead of time that most players would probably find it uncomfortable to use the lock-on button with the dodge button at the same time. So by using the lock-on button with the dodge button in a similar manner to Devil May Cry, you would get the same dodge that you would normally do if you hit the trigger button. I guess for Bayonetta 2, they made this change because they wanted it to be a lot more accessible, and accessibility is extremely important. Thankfully, Bayonetta 2 does have this option that allows you to play the game with the original layout that the first game had. Here, it's old school all the way. The lock-on button is back on the right bumper, with the weapon changing on the left trigger. Now, even though this does resemble the control scheme of the first game, they still had to make one change because there is a new ability that was added to this game called Umbran Climax. Umbran Climax takes the left trigger, the left bumper, because originally that was the button that you would use for taunting. But because Umbran Climax is a pretty important ability, they needed to make sure that it would be in the one spot where players would have all access to. So they relegated the taunt button to the D-pad, which I've never been a big fan of, but considering how there's already so much stuff that you got to do with Bayonetta, I get what they were going for. But this is something I didn't bring up before. I do think they should have done something with the D-pad, because I don't like what they did with the D-pad function here. Once again, just like with Bayonetta 1, the D-pad is nothing more than shortcuts for items, and while that may be pretty good for players that like using items, when it comes to players that don't use items like me, the D-pad ends up becoming a useless feature. I always wondered if there was something you could do with the D-pad, and if the third game was going to address that, and oh boy, Bayonetta 3 is definitely addressing the D-pad. It's no longer about item shortcuts, now it's about summoning demon slaves. It's a whole nother level of gameplay, and I'm pretty excited about that. And for this Type C, this one is a little bit like the old scheme, except they flipped everything around, where whatever was the bumpers is now the triggers, and whatever was the triggers were the bumpers. I don't know if there's anyone out there who would like to play like that, but it's not for me. And D is a little bit of the same, just more flipping around. But no, for the purpose of this game, I'm going to be playing Type B control scheme, because that's the one I'm more familiar with. B for Bayonetta. There we go. So, I already talked a lot about the control scheme, and I haven't even started with this goddamn game. Oh, and I'm also going to turn on Rumble. I always have it off because, I don't know, Rumble has never been that important to me, and when it comes to action games, I feel like Rumble should be pretty good for, like, letting you know when an incoming attack is heading your way. Like, imagine if a Rumble happens when Bayonetta senses an enemy about to hit you. When that rumble comes in, that sort of gives you a hint as to when to dodge. I think that would have been a nice function. But as it is, Rumble works pretty much your standard stuff. It rumbles when you get hit. It rumbles when you attack enemies, so on and so forth. I usually keep it off to make sure that the battery life for the Pro Controller lasts a little longer. So, let's go, baby. Story time! I can't change Bayonetta's look, so we're going with her old school look. If it was up to me, I would be playing with the Sunday dress outfit for Bayonetta, because that's my favorite outfit. I don't know if you guys have been watching my Pure Platinum video series for Bayonetta 2, but that's the outfit I went with because that's my favorite. I think it's the best one. And for the difficulty here, I was contemplating playing the game on Infinite Climax, but just like with the first game, I have decided I'm going to be playing all these games on normal mode. I want to play the game on the same level of difficulty that everyone would be playing at when they're new to Bayonetta. This way, this gives me a chance to do some better explanation without struggling too hard, you know? Hey, Mariah Cole, how's it going? And what's going on, Indie Professor? Nice of you all to come on by. You all are such wonderful folks. Alright, so in a universe of light and dark where perception is reality. I gotta tell you, if there's one thing that I love about Bayonetta, no matter which game, the introductions always know how to hit you on the right spot. And this game, no different. It is some wild shit. It's right there to get you ready for the action.
The legend of AC, a legend from the dawn of time. Nobody knows where the world came from. A struggle caused...
Hold on a sec. I think I have the audio turned down. Yes, I do. I forgot I had the music off when I was working on making combo videos for this game. Let's apply that change, and now we can get into the action.
To be split into three realms: light, darkness, and chaos. Obviously, our world was the one born from chaos. The three worlds all needed rulers, most of all ours. And the one that ruled the chaos became known as AC.
Now, if you didn't know, that's Luka giving the narration. Like father, like son. And you know what? This mech, awesome as hell.
Aesir spent the first eternity quietly looking upon the earth from his holy mountain, where we only see reality and make it match our rules of the world. Aesir saw through reality, and those visions became our.
I just love how the kicks have like these bazookas to them. Just BAM! That explosive kick is so fucking awesome. It's very reminiscent of using Kilgore from the first game.
However, Aesir pitied the humans for their naivete and lack of free will. So the power he wielded was split into two equal halves, and entrusted each to humanity's instincts. The right eye of light, and the left eye of darkness.
Why like father like son? Because in Bayonetta 1, it was Luka's father that was narrating the introduction. Antonio Redgrave.
By dividing the power of the eyes of Aesir, humans gained free will. They could now choose. With control of the eyes of the world, the eyes that determine destiny, humans could choose their own paths. They awoke to their own identities. Man is but a reed, the most feeble thing in nature, but now we were thinking weeds, and we took our first big step towards grand prosperity. The inheritors of the eyes of Aesir have been granted the power of creation.
That giant manta ray! I think we're gonna go inside it at one point. Yep. That is Dante's cover name. A little cheeky reference that Kamiya likes to throw in. I talked about it in the first episode of Bayonetta 1. So if you ever get the chance, go back and watch. I have a lot more to say about that game. Imagine liking Bayonetta 2, right? Take a drink every time I dunk on Bayonetta 2. Actually don't, because I want you guys alive by the time I finish this stream.
At least you're the silent type. The last sage I met spent 20 minutes rambling on and on. What?
What is that? You look familiar. Wanting for the ghost dodging part. So now we're back in present day, and you can tell it's present day because Jubileus somehow landed back on Earth after having been thrown into the sun. How that works, I don't know.
You will not escape this fate.
I want you Bayonetta theorist people out there to try to explain to me how the hell Jubileus, the statue, and Baldur managed to land back on Earth after clearly being thrown into the center of the sun. I need a wacky ass story that explains how that works. The wackier the better. Like maybe Baldur had access to a portal gun and he opened up a portal gun inside the sun and then landed back on Earth. Hell, that's the kind of bullshit story Bayonetta would probably come up with.
But the right eye of light was lost from the world forever, along with its possessor, the last of the Lumen Sages.
Not the statue? Okay, fair enough. Maybe not. Maybe it's not the statue. Oh yeah, that's right. Bayonetta 2 introduces something that I actually like called Bewitchments. They're essentially achievements, but they're bewitching. And I think that's actually a very cute thing that PlatinumGames added. And we did see that in Bayonetta 3, they are going to continue using Bewitchments. Alright, so now let's go to the World of Chaos. Honestly, World of Chaos is by far one of the best introductions in a Bayonetta game ever. You know, I gotta give kudos to PlatinumGames. As much as I don't like Bayonetta 2, this introduction is fucking wild. There's so much chaos going on left and right, as the title would suggest. And it all begins with Bayonetta and John going out for a little Sunday shopping. On a Christmas morning, no less. Making this game a Christmas game. It also happens to be celebrating my birthday because my birthday lands on Christmas. Yay! Sega! Hey, Flight is online, playing Splatoon. Nintendo. I like the little cute Mario sprite there. And Platinum Games with Team Little Angels. Oh, listen carefully to this. I love this a lot. Listen to the newscast. The wonderful 101 theme song. I love that they use that as a newscast song. It is so perfect. I knew they were going to toss in a wonderful 101 reference, but to throw in the actual song, mwah, beautiful. Oh yeah, Platinum runs a bus company. They took over the Greyhound business.
You still haven't paid me back for the car. Hey, whoa!
Now, is that any way to speak to an old friend? Besides, I did that job for you, for free, might add. Do I really have to tell everyone how you grabbed onto my leg, sobbing like a schoolboy?
This is why I can't.
Admittedly, Bayonetta is much better looking in this game. The short hair, the pixie cut hairstyle, I adore it a lot. I mean, I still have a soft spot for her original look, but yeah, the new look they went for in Bayonetta 2, magnificent. But damn, I remember way back on GameFAQs, people were so upset at the short hair. Everyone kept saying, like, that doesn't make any sense. If her ability is all about hair, why does she have short hair? And to that, I just tell them she could just grow it back at any moment. She's already able to grow her hair, so just cut it down. Give herself a new look.
But what the fuck you wasting your time trying to send some schmucks off to the afterlife for?
Done and done. Let's go home, Enzo.
Hey, wait a second.
Oh, no. She's equally sexy in both games. I'm not saying she's less sexier in the first game. Like, her ass is the same no matter what you cover it with. What I am saying is that her new look here is I don't know how to explain it. I feel like she's much more beautiful here, but she's sexy all around. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to get at. I mean, have you ever heard the term a banana without its peel is still a banana? I guess that kind of works with Bayonetta here. She's beautiful no matter what, but the outfit that she has, the new hairstyle, it just makes her more appealing. You know what I mean? Also, I fucking love that John just tosses the presents onto Enzo. Just tosses it into his face like not even giving a shit. Nah, women with short hair are beautiful. Well, women with long hair are beautiful too. I mean, yeah, I have a soft spot for women with short hair. The tomboy chicks are the best.
Some witch with amnesia goes around calling herself a weapon, and it turns out she really got stuck with a kid's nickname. That shit's rich, I tell you what.
I love how Enzo is so out of the loop on what's going on, even though he's supposed to be Mr. Exposition.
But they aren't the only ones. Pray tell. Our friends down south seem to be a bit upset as well.
In regards for how Jubilee's statue ended up back on Earth, when Bayonetta and John summoned Queen Sheba, they punched Jubilee's soul out of the statue. Oh yeah! Okay, you are right. You are on the dot. I completely forgot. When they punch the statue, it's the soul that comes flying out of the statue. You are 100% right. My funny little criticism must be discarded. Disregard all that shit I said.
I need to hurry up and get Ed and Edna's presents, or I'm gonna get it.
We'll talk later. I'll see you back home. Don't forget to pick up the things for the party.
I'm surprised we don't have a mini game with John riding a motorcycle the whole way through. Yes, I know we have that little segment in the very end of Bayonetta 1 where you get to play as John for a bit, but imagine a John motorcycle segment only. Although I'm pretty sure people will get mad at that because people already hated Route 666.
I want a toy
I don't know. I want it. I want it. I will like it, not you.
I'm not buying any damned angels. Yellow, blue, I don't care what color they are. I learned my lesson with those bastards.
That is right. Platinum Games did say that they're not going to be focusing on Nintendo costumes for Bayonetta 3. But I know for a fact that we're going to get some amazing costumes in Bayonetta 3. I mean, they're already doing a ton of different costumes for every weapon. So, so not only do we have Bayonetta herself and the reskins for the weapons, but also the alternate costumes that we'll be able to wear, which makes me question one thing. Will those alternate outfits change the look of the demon weapons? I don't think so, but it is something to think about. Protect the Wonder Toy Store! It's owned by one of the members of the Wonderful 101 crew. Battling on top the Blue Angels. Well, it's not really the Blue Angels. It's just a Platinum Games skinned jet. But you know they were going for the Blue Angels reference. Yeah, actually, I remember Bayonetta 2 was advertised on TV. There was an Adult Swim commercial for it. I don't know about Bayonetta 1, but I know I saw Bayonetta 2 commercials on Adult Swim. Oh, here we go. Cover your eyes. Cover your eyes. You're not allowed to see this. You're not allowed to see Bayonetta naked. No. Hide your kids. Hide your family. This is too sexy. Ah! No, of course not. Bayonetta won't always be naked. She's got that sexy leather outfit to wear. This is such an amazing song. It's so good, it only plays twice in this whole game. No, I'm gonna be demonetized. Help! How will I live without any money? I fucking love that shot though. Her spinning and the camera rotating. The choreography here is absolutely phenomenal. Kick him out of here. Oh yeah, that's right. She's only truly naked without her glasses. Touch controls? What, I look like a casual? To hell with that. Now, just like before, we have a special tutorial to teach players how to play the game. And this isn't the fault of Bayonetta 2, because I mentioned this in the first game, but this tutorial is still awful. It was awful back then, it's awful here now. While I like that you're isolated in order to teach you how to play the game, there should have been more to it than just a quick isolation tutorial. But yeah, X is to punch. Very simple stuff. A is to kick. And of course, you can mix and match them for cool combos. And, okay, I will give praise to one thing about this game. The combo move list that Bayonetta has for Love is Blue is actually really good. It's much more defined than the Scarborough Fair moveset. So, you know, if that's one praise I can give Bayonetta 2, it's this. The normal layout for her guns are actually really good. In fact, they're so good, you can even focus on kick combos and you finally have Wicked Weaves. See? Well, I can't show you Wicked Weaves just yet because I can only use handguns. But yeah, there's a lot more complexity to the Love is Blue moveset. Oh my god, I'm praising Bayonetta 2. Yes, I can do that. It is a really good moveset. Moving on. You can also shoot. And you can do it by holding the punch and kick button. Once again, I have to reiterate, this is a very terrible way of teaching players how to use this. Why? Because as soon as you leave this tutorial, you're gonna forget you can do that. Witch time! Which is really bad in Bayonetta 2. The witch time system is so baffling in this game. I still don't get how it really works, but I'll go into more details about that soon, so don't worry. Alright, let's just kick ass. Let's get through this game quickly. Halos! Just like the first game, collect halos. You'll be able to purchase stuff in Rodin's Gates of Hell. Play well, you'll get more halos.
This is why I never buy anything on sale.
You and me both. Although, there is something to be said about living the life of frugality.
This is why I can't have nice things. Damn it, car, start already.
Right on time to deliver a little holiday cheer.
Rodin is my man. The fact that he's able to wear a Santa outfit and make it look cool is something to behold.
Believe it, Sam.
Watch your mouth, Enzo. Don't want anyone offering you for sacrilege before you pay your tab.
I'm fucking leavable.
Yeah, you're right. Where's Rodin? That's clearly Santa Claus. And I don't know about you guys, but I kind of have the sudden urge to play Crazy Taxi right now. I wonder why. Hey, come on over, have some fun with Crazy Taxi! All while there's a huge predicament with Bayonetta in the sky. Now, contrary to the first game, we get our access to Love is Blue almost immediately. We don't have to wait until the next chapter. We finally get access to Bayonetta's best weapons, right from the get-go.
I believe. I believe. I fucking believe.
And once again, Rodin gets smacked in the head, but just completely ignores that.
It's time to be naughty.
Now we got the Love is Blue. And the reason why we get Love is Blue is because here it is, the ability that I have an extreme love-hate relationship with. Umbran Climax. The whole idea is simple. Build your magic. Once you have enough magic, press the L button in order to go into Umbran Climax. Umbran Climax is essentially serious mode from Bayonetta 1. Now, if you don't remember that, basically when you're fighting against a boss in Bayonetta 1, Bayonetta will tap into what is called serious mode, where suddenly she'll let her hair loose and every attack she does has a wicked weave. This is so that she could get a fighting chance against the boss she's fighting against. Really cool stuff. Makes for an epic fight. That's essentially what Umbran Climax here does. It makes every attack that Bayonetta has become nothing but wicked weaves. It's pretty easy to clear the screen with this ability. The only problem is, the entire game is balanced around this ability, which is why I have a pretty strong love-hate relationship with this. Because on the one hand, Umbran Climax is a pretty damn cool ability. But if you don't have Umbran Climax available, it'll feel like you're at a disadvantage. Because most of Bayonetta's regular tools are so damn weak in comparison. You really need to have that magic built up in order to focus on Umbran Climax. Not to mention, the other thing I don't like is that magic buildup is so much slower in this game. It is so slow that it makes magic more precious, which means that any other ability that you use that wastes magic would feel like a waste of time when you could just focus on building Umbran Climax. it pigeonholes the player into only using one strategy. That is exactly it. Almost all of your strategy can be funneled down to Umbran Climax. Again, Umbran Climax isn't bad, it's just that it's bounced around it. There's almost no situation where Umbran Climax can't do it better. Again, this entire scenario is so awesome. The choreography, the presentation, the colors, it's all mind-blowing. It's impressive that this is all being presented on the Nintendo Switch. So about magic, I was testing some mods and magic builds up every 1050 damage points, but good luck keeping track of that during combat. Yeah. Oh, by the way, I want to talk about something that happened there. Now, I don't know if you noticed, but one of the things that I actually do like about Bayonetta 2, and this is another praise that I'm going to give Bayonetta 2, but I really like how during cutscenes, when an enemy is about to attack Bayonetta, there's a moment where there's a freeze frame where Bayonetta is in danger. Now, you could just let the cutscene play out and nothing will happen, but if you press the dodge button during that cutscene, you get a special animated segment where Bayonetta dodges the attack and you're rewarded with witch time at the start of the fight. That is a good idea. A much better implementation than what the QTEs did in Bayonetta 1. Because in Bayonetta 1, yeah, the QTEs, they suck dick. But they're a non-issue overall. But here, not only did they do away with the QTEs, which is a good thing, but they made something that actually feels rewarding for the players that pay attention to the cutscenes. That is a win-win scenario, and I gotta give kudos to Bayonetta 2 for actually implementing that system. That's a good thing. Missed that dodge. Totally my fault. Now, I actually like this part. You have a choice. You can either break the enemy's tail off, or you can run onto the enemy and start smacking them crazy there. Which I think is actually a really cool option. And while you're fighting that boss, here's another boss, destroying the train tracks. There's so much shit going on. Oh my god, it's like it's a world of chaos or something.
That was quick. Did you get everything? Forgot the caviar. You think they're still open? It's not Christmas without caviar. Let's finish this quickly then.
Alright, let's do this. By the way, another really cool trick you could do. You can pick up the train track and throw it at the enemy. Ah, badly timed. Let's go ahead and punish him. Hey, Sliding Panda Man, what's going on, friend? Nice of you to catch the stream. So many people are watching today. I'm so grateful. I know a lot of you love Bayonetta 2 a lot more than 1, so I'm here to tell you guys that Bayonetta 2 sucks. I almost made a mistake there. Oh, Climax. Avavago. Here we go. Let's bring out our favorite little pet, Gomorrah, who still sounds like a goddamn elephant. I don't know why. Just a gold. You're probably not going to see me doing any pure platinum runs here, so I do apologize ahead of time. I'm not good at Bayonetta. I'm only borderline good. But what's this? What the hell? Gomorrah is not paying attention to Bayonetta. He is now the enemy. That's actually a real awesome twist. The enemies that you summoned in the first game now become your enemy. Fucking cool. And for some random reason, John's soul gets kicked out and now she gets taken away in a very provocative way. But of course, Bayonetta cannot save her friend because there's something else to take care of. And holy shit, this entire presentation is phenomenal. The music, the background, holy fuck. I remember when PlatinumGames were doing their dev blog about the making of this stage, and they said that they were watching a lot of Godzilla films in order to get this entire scenario to look right. Even the music feels like a love letter to the Godzilla soundtrack. Hit him enough times and you'll be able to punish him towards the building. You're rewarded for being aggressive, which is pretty cool. Holy shit, man. This never fails to keep me mesmerized. I'm playing on the actual Switch. Oh yeah, no, the choice of colors, everything, like PlatinumGames, when they're at their limit, they're really good at making their games presentable. Oh wow, I got a platinum. I wasn't actually expecting a platinum score. Yes! DJ Rapscallion says, didn't the developers also mention they wanted the first boss to feel like the final boss? Yes, that was their intention. They wanted every boss fight to feel like it was the final fight. How much of that is actually implemented into the entire game is a little bit of a debatable topic, because I still think the Gomorrah fight is top tier presentation fight, which sadly means we're gonna start going downhill from here.
Dead witches get dragged to hell. It is what it is. Jean's gonna wander Inferno suffering for eternity. Them's the breaks.
Them's the breaks.
I didn't ask you to tell me what I already know, Rodin. Especially if you're going to be flip about it.
You know better than that. You're not the kind to let that sort of summon go out of control, Bayonetta. Something's up. The balance of powers that keep things in check don't feel right.
Something's going on.
You know, she's pretty hot for a dead chick. I wasn't a big fan of her shit when she was in the realm of
Keep it
oblivion.
low, Enzo.
Looking at her now,
Stay calm, boy. Down, boy.
still not a fan.
Ugh,
Not dead,
so weird
Enzo.
for Enzo to be
She's right.
ogling like that
You only really did
at a dead
after
chick.
your soul
Well,
has been
technically
completely
she's not
absorbed
dead,
into another
but it's still
realm of
weird.
Trinity. But that's just a matter of time. Cause I don't see no way of saving a soul lost in hell.
What about the gates? The real gates of hell.
I can't stop you from trying to use them, but I don't think you got a chance down there. I'll see what I can do about putting her on ice for a while. You'll need this.
The game is too quiet for you guys.
The heart of an
Alright, hold on. I'll bring it up for you guys.
Keep your kind alive in this world for eternities. Should keep her body in this realm stable, but you'll need to reunite this with her soul if you're gonna try and bring her back. I figure you got about a day before it's game over.
How does that sound for you guys?
Enzo, you've got a jet, right?
What? No. No, 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 no. I do not know. Listen, I appreciate the situation, but you know what today is? My kids got cookies baked for me at home. They're waiting
Enzo
for me.
Necrophile? Careful. I hope he's not that kind of person.
Let the
Seriously
real
hope
Santa
not.
take care of the presents. Now let's go.
Hey, I said I believe, but Ed and Edna, you can't put one over on those cute little fuckers, let me tell you. Hey, let go! Let go of me! Why do I always get wrapped up in this shit?
This motherfucker.
Sure is a motherfucker. Alright. You want to copy my stream template? Go right ahead. I welcome it. I spent a long time trying to perfect it from my own way, and if you guys think it's a very influential thing, I'm actually kind of happy that you guys are taking cues from the way I design stuff. I mean, I'm a graphic designer. I'm a full-time graphic designer, so I'm proud of the stuff that I'm able to design. So if people take ideas from that, it just... What's that word I'm looking for? What's that phrase? Imitation is a sincerest form of flattery? I think that's the term. I'm not sure. If you guys know exactly what it is, then just post it in the chat. But yeah, I'm really happy that you guys like the layout that I have set up for you guys. I want to try to keep it clean. I prefer that over putting my webcam on top of the actual game screen, you know what I mean? Anyway, somehow I walked away with a platinum score, even though I took quite a few hits there. That was right. Awesome. And now onward to Noatune, the city of Sega Genesis. Oh no.
The sacred mountain of Thimbleventer. The joint's supposed to be the
Highest
link
form of
between
flattery.
Inferno
Gotcha.
and Paradiso. They say there is an entrance to Inferno, the gates of hell. somewhere on this mountain. No one knows where, though. Hell, no one even knows if it's true or not. The only reason this overgrown rock is worshipped like some god in the first place is that no one's ever been able to get close to the damn thing. It's like it don't want you there. Every climber ends up stranded or worse. And don't even try to fly a plane near that place or bada boom! But at least
Bada
your
boom.
soul doesn't have a long walk to whichever afterlife you got lined up, right? I'll wait for you in Noaton, at the foot of the mountain. Just hurry up with whatever it is you gotta do and get back there, alright? And the hotel's going on your account. With a minibar, too. Gotta keep myself
What
busy
do you
while I'm
think about
waiting.
the scoring system?
Forget about it.
I'm a little iffy on the scoring system. I did bring this up in the first game, but the scoring system is pretty different in Bayonetta 2. They designed it in a way where it's no longer about diminishing returns. There's actually no diminishing returns in Bayonetta 2. And if you don't know what that is, basically in Bayonetta 1, if you keep repeating the same moves over and over and over again without finishing your combos, the score that you earn from every attack you do starts to diminish. So if you do a punch, it's 10 points. But if you keep repeating the same punch over and over again, those 10 points starts to reduce down to 1 point. And so if you're not finishing your combos, you're just going to get nothing but 1 point along the way. Like just 1 point for every hit. In Bayonetta 2, they do away with that, which I know there's some argument to be made about how that's a good thing, and I'm not saying it is a bad thing, but what I will say is that the scoring system definitely favors high DPS attacks over combos. It's not about doing combos anymore. It's about doing very strong attacks, because the stronger your attack is, the more points you get out of that, and the higher your multiplier goes. And since there's no diminishing returns, you don't have to focus on finishing combos. You just have to focus on doing strong hits every time, which is why weapons like the sword, like Shiraba, Rakshasa, and even the hammer, which is I think called the Takamikazuchi, those weapons are highly beneficial because they do a ton of damage when you charge their attacks.
Say hi to the wife and kids for
Oh no, I forgot how to fly the plane!
I can't fly this piece of shit!
If only Alex the Kid had something more for me! It's a good thing Bayonetta is extremely flexible, otherwise she would have accidentally landed on the squirrel. But nope, she's able to do a perfect split. And for some reason the camera just happens to be right on her ass.
John,
I wonder
On
why.
my way. Just behave yourself for a bit longer.
Now, another praise I do want to give out for this game. The world is so beautiful. It really does encourage players to explore. There's quite a lot of things to see around here. You don't necessarily have to move forward right now. You can just go around, look at the docks, look at all these things you can find. And I quite like that. That's pretty cool. Platinum Games really wanted to show that just because they are on a Nintendo platform, that they can't sacrifice visuals. And I give them kudos for going the extra mile for this kind of presentation. Hell, you can even go underwater. There's no real reason to, outside of finding hidden little thingies here and there, but hey, you could do that. And it's pretty damn cool. The set pieces in Bayonetta 2 are great. Again, I will give praise to the game where it benefits the most. I shouldn't say benefit. I think that's the incorrect word. What I should say, I'll give praise to where the game deserves it the most. I think that's a better way of saying it. Sorry, I have a weird way of speaking. English is not my first language, if you can believe that. So cool. Aha! We even get these books. Oh, and by the way, really good thing here, we now have access to Panther Within right from the get-go. So no longer do we have to waste time walking around. This is a good thing. Air dodges are also available right from the get-go, which is awesome. Also a good thing. Bayonetta 2, for all the bad things that it does, the one thing I do like that it does do is it does not waste your time. That's a good thing. However, there is one change that I do want to talk about that I don't like. In Bayonetta 1, I talked about how there's momentum and inertia in that game where you're able to propel Bayonetta around at high speeds depending on how fast you are. For example, if you're in Panther Within mode and you jump and dodge, that dodge will carry the same speed that Panther Within had, making you fling really far when you dodge. For whatever weird reason, they changed that in Bayonetta 2. They got rid of the momentum. And that's something that I really don't like. So now when you run at high speeds and you try to dodge, you come to a slow halt. Look at that! It feels like you're walking through mud. A lot of people say Bayonetta 2 is a faster game, but I don't see it as a faster game. It feels fast, it definitely feels like a faster game, but in terms of giving speed to the players, or I should say giving control to the players so they themselves can control the speed, you ain't gonna get any of that stuff here. Inertia? Momentum? It's all gone. It's really lame. I just don't understand why they got rid of this. It really hurts the game a lot. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm gonna be breaking a bunch of stuff here so I can collect a bunch of halos. We're gonna need them so that we can get all the cool stuff later on down the road. Again, I gotta give praise to the game's visuals. I'm certain PlatinumGames had to do a lot of really cool trickery to make this game look good. Like, I'm almost certain that everything that you see here in the water is being done with like a JPEG image. I may not be a genius when it comes to graphics, but this is what I see, and I know some people have mentioned it, that the water reflection in the bottom is nothing but a high-res JPEG image that's mapped to the texture of the water in order to give it this reflection, and it just makes the game look pretty as a result. Bayonetta may not have RTX mode, but PlatinumGames can certainly fake it, and it looks really nice. Also, another praise, yes, I'm actually giving a lot of praises to this game. Can you believe that? I love the soundtrack for Bayonetta 2. I think Bayonetta 2's soundtrack taps into something that's a lot more atmospheric than what Bayonetta 1 was going out for. I think Bayonetta 2's soundtrack is a lot more elegant when it comes to exploring. Like, this song alone, I adore it a lot. It feels like you really are looking around, taking it in, soaking it in. It's a beautiful piano melody that I adore so much. Now, I do believe that up here is a treasure that we need to open up, but to open it requires us to do some specific tasks. Let's see. Is there anyone that's in the same situation as me? Same situation as you in what? Alright, this seems to be the reflection of an Umbran resting place which existed in the past. I'll have to collect each of the broken pieces while this remembrance of time is visible. And to do that, we gotta play a little minigame where we gotta collect all these things all around the field. Collect them all, and the treasure will become visible. Where's the last one? Where's the last one? Oh, there it is. No, no, no. There we go. Right on time. How's it going, MDo? I love you too. The broken pieces have come together, restoring the treasure, so let's go ahead and crack that baby open. But also, let's break these down. I love being a menace to society. No more fruits for you. Sorry. They were rotten anyway. I have yet to get Breath of the Wild. It's funny. I have Breath of the Wild, but I have yet to play it. As a matter of fact, I might have mentioned this before, but I have never played a Zelda game before. Shocking, I know. And I would like to play a Zelda game at some point. And I know some people say, don't play Breath of the Wild. That should not be the first game you should play. But the more I look at Breath of the Wild, the more it really captivates my interest. And even if I'm new to Zelda, I don't see it as a bad thing for me to play Breath of the Wild first, you know. There we go, our first broken moon pearl. By the way, I didn't bring this up, but one new feature that Bayonetta has that I think is a welcoming addition, she can float down. Awesome, this makes platforming a lot easier to do now. Breath of the Wild is a great game to start, but most other Zelda games aren't like it in terms of it being that open. That is good to understand. Yeah, I know. Believe me, I've done the research. I know Breath of the Wild is a very vastly open game where you're free to do almost anything you want. It's completely unlike most of the other Zelda games. If anything, the closest reminiscence it has to is the original NES game, which was kind of the same thing where you were free to do whatever you wanted in that open field. MUSPELHEIM! I don't know how to pronounce that. Is it Muspelheim? Is it MUSPELHEIM? I'm just going to call it MUSPELHEIM if you don't mind. Basically, they're just like Alfheims. Find one of these secret locations, complete it, and you'll be rewarded with a new upgrade, which is really cool. They pretty much function the same way as the ones that Bayonetta 1 had. But some of these are kind of bad in my personal opinion. Like, some of these are pretty good. Like, okay, timed battle. Beat the enemy in like 20 seconds. That's cool. But some of these enemies, they are not designed to be defeated in less than 20 seconds. Not unless you have everything prepared beforehand. Kind of makes it a little bit more frustrating when you're trying to get everything right from the get-go at the start. Nice, nice, not too bad. I feel like that was a gold because it wasn't a pretty good high score. Or maybe the time was too long. No! Wow. I always doubt myself, but somehow I'm always able to walk away with a pure platinum. It's Nordic. I can pronounce it, but I don't know how to spell it out phonetically. MUSPELHEIM. MUSPELHEIM. MUSPELHEIM! Well, I'll just call it MUSPELHEIM. Or Alfheims. Whatever. Secret levels are also useful to say, I guess. Let's not get too confused here, I guess. Oh, but what's this? That little squirrel that we almost squashed. There's something about it. Again, the atmosphere in this game is really good. The soundtrack is incredible. This song alone, I fucking love it. You know what it reminds me of? This soundtrack, I'm gonna completely veer out of left field with this comparison, but the soundtrack for this game reminds me a lot of the Myst and Riven soundtrack. Now, if you guys have never played Myst or Riven before, don't worry, those are really old games from way back in the mid-90s, and they were released only on computers for a while. They're basically first-person puzzled adventure games, and part of what makes those games real good is the soundtrack. It has this beautiful environmental sound to it to let you breathe in the world, and I feel like Bayonetta 2 is tapping into that same feel. It's giving me that kind of a nostalgic feel altogether. But yeah, me bringing up Myst and Riven, you can tell how old I am just by mentioning those games. My reaction is kind of awful. There we go. Oh, that is such a cool looking combo. Well, the stomp. Not the actual combo itself. It's kind of, you know, cock-a-doodle. Let's continue exploring. Now, there is another treasure for us to locate, but unfortunately I cannot access it because the only way to really access it is to be able to go into snake form. But you don't unlock that until halfway through the game when you visit more underwater areas. Kind of sucks that I can't get everything right from the get-go here, like I can in the first game. We gotta make do with what we got right now, unfortunately. I really can't wait for your blind playthrough of Bayonetta 3. I know there are some people that are waiting for me to do that blind playthrough, and believe me, I will do it. I'm gonna try to get a day off from work so I can just spend the whole day playing the game. Oh, I can only deal damage in Witch Time. I forgot about that. Ah, my timing is way off. I want to try that again. I bet the reason my timing is off is because I don't have Bat Within, which was the same exact problem I had back in the first game. Oh, Dante Black asks, what purpose serves the shooting button since you can shoot with punches and kicks? That is a very good question. The purpose behind that is to make sure that you don't drop your combo score. Now, while it is true that you can shoot with the punch and kick, the benefit of the shoot button, which is the Y button on the Switch controller or the X button on the Xbox controller, the difference is that the shoot button is frame one shooting. Like the moment you press it, Bayonetta attacks on the very first frame, making it the fastest attack in the game. This is to make sure that no matter where you are, no matter what distance you are from an enemy, the bullet that you shoot will immediately hit the enemy the moment you shoot. This is to ensure that you don't drop your combo score. There's going to be situations where maybe you're too far away from an enemy that your regular bullets aren't going to be able to hit it. Because yeah, from a certain distance, the punch and kick bullets, they actually have a tendency to miss. So with the pistol button, you can immediately shoot real fast. so that you don't drop your combo score. That is the benefit of having the shoot button. Most people I've talked to have told me that that's bullshit because the punch and kicks shooting button are pretty fast, but they are not, because you have to take into the account that Bayonetta has to swing her punches first before attacking. So do you want to swing the punch first and then shoot, or do you want to do immediate frame 1 shooting in order to make sure that your combo score still remains active if you're too far away from an enemy? You know what I mean? That's the benefit of the shooting. Now, I will say that in Bayonetta 2, they upgraded the shoot button, where if you hold down the shoot button, you can charge it up for a stronger attack, which I was never a big fan of. I feel like that didn't really need an upgrade. If anything, that sort of thing should have been relegated to the punch and kick buttons. But I guess in its own way, it's still a pretty cool function, so I can't really be too angry at that. But yeah, there is your difference between the regular shoot button and the punch and kick shooting button. I was never a big fan of these "you can only hit enemies while in witch time" tasks, because it makes the game more boring than it needs to be. I get what they were going for. They wanted to teach players to focus on dodging enemy attack, but that also forces you to just sit there and wait for the attack. And Bayonetta should not just be about waiting for attacks, especially when you get really good at this game. Good points. There's various other ways to maintain combos too. Exactly. Like, there's numerous ways of maintaining combos. It's not just a one and done deal. You have multiple options. But like I said before, while Bayonetta may have a lot of options in Bayonetta 2, when trying to play the game in a more stylish way, you're kind of limited due to the way the entire game was balanced around Umbran Climax. Now, we could continue this way, but if we head back here, there should be a hidden verse. Yep. Like, time requirements for Pure Platinum being extremely strict. Yes, exactly. The time requirements for Pure Platinum and Bayonetta 2 is far too strict, because again, the entire game is balanced around Umbran Climax. Plus, since there's no diminishing returns, the game really does focus on you going for high DPS attacks rather than doing fancy combos, which is unfortunate.
Made me stay all the way through dinner.
Don't pretend you weren't delighted. I hear Enzo's wife makes a lovely casserole.
It was damn good. I'll give you that. Anyway, tell me how my babies are doing.
They're behaving quite well. They found plenty of playmates here.
Figured they would. Noatune had some deep connections with Fimbulventer and the Gates of Hell back in its day. Wouldn't be surprised to find a few of those playmates that like it rougher than the typical bunch. Anyway, you need any supplies?
I wonder when we are gonna see more from Project GG.
Remember,
if I were to guess, I'd say we will start hearing more information about Project GG probably around summer 2023.
You think you gotta do everything alone? I'm here to help. Just make sure you don't bust a cap at my ass.
Ha 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 ha! Call back to Bayonetta 1! Ha 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 ha! Anyway, even though Rodin left, we still gotta go visit him.
Welcome to the gates of hell. We've lit our prices on fire, so there won't be hell to pay. Come on, I gotta say some cheesy shit sometimes.
Rodin, you can say the most cheesiest shit in the world and you would still be the coolest man alive. How I wish to be like you. Alright, so... just like before, I think the most important thing that you should focus on when buying stuff from the Gates of Hell is Bayonetta's techniques. Don't worry about items because they come at you aplenty. Don't waste your halos on that stuff, especially since most of the stuff that you collect in the game can be served to create or I should say, they can be used as ingredients to create the items you need. So instead, focus more on the techniques. So let's do that. Absolutely, I think the most important thing for me to get is Afterburner Kick. Really sick ability. And I like this. I know the first game had it. I didn't get the chance to demonstrate it there. But I do like how before you buy it, you can definitely give it a test run. Alright, so let's go ahead and buy that. Alright, let's see. What else can I buy? I'm actually not a big fan of Witch Strike. I believe Witch Strike is supposed to be the alternative to the Afterburner Kick, where instead of kicking, you're doing the punch variant. Let me see. Let me go ahead and test that one out. Press X immediately after executing a jump. Yeah, that's what it is. Maybe I should buy it. But not yet. It's not too important, especially since Afterburner Kick can do it much better. But Witch Strike does have its benefits. Let's see. Charge Bullet. That's what I was talking about. How the pistol shots in Bayonetta 2 have been upgraded so you can be able to do these charge shots where you just shoot from a distance. If I were to wager a guess, I want to wager a huge guess here, but I have a feeling that the reason they implemented the Charge Bullet is because they wanted to give players, the Let's Players, who played Bayonetta 1 and struggled fighting these enemies from a distance by doing nothing more than shooting from a distance. They decided to give those players something beneficial for them, and that's why they added Charge Bullets. Call me crazy, but I think that's why they did it, because come on, have you seen a lot of the new players out there? I watch a lot of these Let's Players in my spare time. Most of the times they don't realize that you can do these combo attacks in order to get these wicked weaves that can extend through far distances. Their main strategy is just to stay back and keep mashing the Y button. So they threw those players a bone with the Charge Bullet. I'm not complaining, I think it's a nice implementation, but I feel like there should have been some way to explain to the players that there's more to the game than just playing keep away with the bullets. Oh my god. You know what? I gotta give kudos to Bayonetta 2 again here. I really do like that they give everything to you right from the get-go. No more waiting to get through a certain part of the story to get these upgrades. Bat Within is absolutely important for you to purchase. Essentially, it allows you to dodge on the very last frame, or I should say, it allows you to dodge on the exact same frame in which you're getting hit, giving you that little extra leg room to get out of the way of an incoming attack. Let's see. And I'm already down to 22,000, so I'm only able to purchase one more thing. So let's make it... Maybe I should be Crow Within. I don't know. I don't see myself actually focusing on using Crow Within that much. Well, no, that's right. With Crow Within, I get Umbran Spear, and that is a very important tool. So let me go ahead and buy that. And so now, when I get enough Halos, I'll be able to purchase Umbran Spear. So yeah, well, we're getting there. We're getting there. And no, I'm not going to use any amiibos for this game. I have a bunch of amiibos, but I'd rather play this game the vanilla way. The summon swords? Yes, you are right. I actually never got the chance to talk about this in Bayonetta 1, so let me go ahead and talk about that. One thing I really do like about Bayonetta 1 and 2, because both of these games have these same abilities, but something I wish they would focus on is improving the feather system. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, when you go into Crow Within, you have the option of pulling out these feathers, and the feathers that come out are dependent on which button you press. So if you press punch, you'll get homing feathers, these, and they'll work the moment you press punch. They'll target the nearest enemy. If you press kick, you get these circular variations. These, in my opinion, are the best. I should say this is the best tool for Bayonetta to have. It allows you to protect yourself from well, it won't protect you from an incoming attack, but it allows you to do extra damage to an enemy as you walk up to them. So it's a really cool tactic to focus on when you want to do more damage. It's really cool. And what's really great about it is that if you press kick, it spreads out. So any enemies that are nearby, they're going to take the hit. But that's not all. This also works in the first game and it works in the second game. But if you hold down the button for the respective attack, you get an upgraded version of that attack. So if you hold down the punch button, you get more feathers. And they target much faster. And if you do it with the kick version, if you hold down the kick, you get an insane amount of feathers. Look at that. In some of my combo videos, I've actually implemented the feathers in a way where the feathers keep juggling the enemies so that I can charge my sword at them. It's really sick. If anything, these feathers are sort of like Virgil's summon swords. It's so awesome. Now, even though these are really cool abilities, I do have one little complaint about these. The problem with these feathers is that they won't activate until you press the corresponding button to it. You know, so let's say I press punch, right? Now the feathers are ready. But if I want to start doing combos on an enemy and I press punch immediately, the feathers will activate. That kind of sucks. Wouldn't it be so much better where instead of pressing the punch button or the kick button to make the feathers work, instead they stay, like, they remain with you until you press the pistol button? Think about that for a second, because I actually remember talking about this in the forums. I feel like if you wanted to improve on the feather system, instead of making it where pressing the punch or kick button activates the feathers, it's the pistol that activates the feathers. So now, if you're doing a combo, you can prepare the feathers beforehand, and then while you're doing your combos, you lift up the enemy, you hit him with a Wicked Weave, and then press the pistol button, and then the feathers will activate. I feel like that could have been a much better way of having control with the feathers. But alas, we're stuck with this control scheme where you have to press punch or kick to make the feathers work, leaving them with too much to be desired. You know what I mean? That's why, in my personal opinion, the kick version is the best one, because it's the one that has the most function, because it's the one that actually hits the enemies when you walk up to them. Because if you do the punch version, it never hurts them. Oh, I wasted my magic. That's the other thing I should bring up. Summoning feathers actually wastes magic, so you gotta be really, really careful with that. Yeah, don't you think it's a really good idea? That's what I always wanted. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to have the summon swords working the same way they did in the first 2 games in Bayonetta 3. Instead, it looks like Malphas, the demon that we're going to summon, will have all of its feather attacks. But since all the demons in Bayonetta 3 come with a weapon attached, I can imagine that Bayonetta will probably have a weapon that's related to the feathers that Malphas has. And I really hope they improve on the feather system. Do it like what I say, and if not what I say, then do something a million times better. Hell, go the whole 9 yards. Do what Virgil already does, because Virgil's summon sword is the coolest shit I have ever seen in an action game. Having projectiles that work separately from Virgil is so fucking kick-ass. I hope I'm doing a good job of explaining this to you guys, because I have so much good ideas, but sometimes I have a terrible way of explaining things. It's like, I can think it, but when I speak it, I'm like, banana. Also, I fucking love how the environments are like moving and shifting around. Again, PlatinumGames wants to prove to everyone that they know how to make a really good looking game despite being on a system that is lacking in power. I mean, PlatinumGames are not what I would call the kings of graphics, but when they put down the effort, you can tell when they've put down the effort. Bayonetta 2's visuals are really good. Again, I'm giving this game praise. I can give Bayonetta 2 praise. You see, you guys were afraid that I was going to say that this game sucks, even though it does. Let's see, I'm trying to look around and see if there's anything worth finding. I have not played this game in forever. So when it comes to exploration, there's a lot of things I may have forgotten. I do remember... Oh, wait, no. Let me not activate that treasure. Instead, let me go ahead and start looking around for all those hidden verses. Because, damn, there's actually quite a few hidden verses here. This game really wants you to explore a lot. Underwater we go! You know, it's kind of cool that witches have the ability to breathe underwater. And also, here's something I'm wondering. If Bayonetta sinks to the bottom of the ocean, wouldn't that make her not a witch? Because if a duck and wood is able to float, that would mean that those are witches. But since Bayonetta sinks, that doesn't really make her a witch now, does it? Hey, Bayonetta, thanks for catching the stream. Nice to see so many people coming on in, man. A lot of people are actually watching this stream. I'm actually kind of happy. Now, I actually think this is a pretty cool MUSPELHEIM. Basically, attack enemies to earn more time. This really forces you to fight really fast and effectively. So this is one of the few MUSPELHEIM verses that I actually do enjoy. Nice. Put a duck in the thumbnail with arrows pointing to it. Duck? No. We need a picture of a person thinking with the arrow pointing to a duck. So it'd be like me going. My face is not really YouTube thumbnail material. Like, I could probably do the shock face, like, but that's about it. You look kind of look like Macaque. No, no, no. I have to show you this face that I like to do every time Christmas comes about. I'll show you later, though. Look, I know this character, Loki, is kind of hated in the Bayonetta community for how annoying he is. But I'll be honest, I kind of like Loki. He's pretty cool. He's rocking that hairstyle, and he's got those baggy pants. He's got that straight hip hop Egyptian kind of look to him, looking like he can break dance at any given moment. I don't know. To me, he's cool. But yeah, obviously, the thing that makes him annoying is the moment he opens his mouth.
Shite. I'm never going to reach Fimbulventer at this rate. Well, at least it won't be a boring trip. Huh? You can see me.
You're putting on quite a show, little magician.
Oh, you like that, huh? Wait till you see the climax.
Loki is such a hit or miss type of character. I definitely agree on that aspect. Because, look, nobody can agree on what this guy is for everyone, you know? I like him. Then again, I'm not easily annoyed by fictional characters.
You'll have to do better than that to earn a tip, my dear.
Who the hell are you?
This is Loki would be 100% less annoying if he stopped saying try and keep up every 5 seconds. Right? No, and even worse, if you do pass him, he's like, wait, hold on a sec. Like, he can't even make up his mind. What the hell, dude?
Because we're both in Purgatorio, you see.
Purgatorio?
Yeah, he doesn't annoy me, but he's just a bad character.
So, are we headed
Yeah.
to Fimbulventer on a shopping trip for
I mean, I'm not going to say he's like in my top 10 or anything. I just think he's kind of cool. His design is cool. It's just his attitude could have been a little better.
Stay out of my way, or I'll make sure you never get in it again.
Ooh, scary. Off with their heads, eh?
I really love how Bayonetta is so sassy in this game.
Damn it.
Like, she wasn't this sassy in the first game. Here, she's really messing with this
They
kid.
must have heard me.
I mean, I like how Bayonetta's attitude changes depending on the character she interacts with. Since Loki is a little kid, she's gonna treat him like a snobby little kid. I love that. Ah, here come the centaurs. Oh boy. Accolade. You can also interact with the field. Let me see if I can... I was going to try to pick up that pillar, but I couldn't do it. Oh no, I couldn't relaunch. What the hell was that witch time duration? That only lasts like half a second. Jesus Christ. So I think it's time I start talking about the witch time system, because there's no other place to talk about that than now. But Jesus Christ. So remember back in Bayonetta 1 how I talked about the witch time system, how the duration of the witch time is based on your timing of the dodge? Well, here Bayonetta 2 completely ignores that, and I will never understand why. I don't know how the witch time system here actually works, but from my understanding, it seems like witch time varies depending on enemy attack. It depends on specific enemies and specific enemy attacks. So if you were to dodge an enemy attack that gives you like half a second of witch time, it doesn't matter if you do a regular dodge or a perfect dodge or even a perfect parry, you're still gonna suffer the half a second witch time. Why? I will never understand that. Like, I remember having this discussion with some people on GameFAQs and Discord, and they told me that 8 seconds of witch time is too much. Being rewarded with too much witch time is a bad thing. And I don't know, that to me does not sound like a bad thing. That to me sounds like you're being rewarded for playing the game in a very different way. Because think about it like this, with perfect parries, you have to deliberately not dodge. Instead, you have to stand there and take the hit. And not just take the hit, but also tap the stick properly. And if you get it right, you get a perfect parry. And that perfect parry should reward you with something good. But here, because witch time is based on the enemy attacks and not your playstyle, then that means that no matter how good you play at this game, you're at the mercy of how witch time wants to be controlled from the enemy's playstyle, not you. So you're not being rewarded for playing well. You're just still playing within the mercy of how this game wants you to play, and I don't like that at all. Witch time is pointless during some of the future boss fights since it's so short. Yeah, there's boss fights where like there's a particular boss fight where he does nothing but sweeps at you like shoosh, joosh, joosh, and every time you dodge it, you get like a half a second of witch time. So it's like joosh, half a second, joosh, half a second, joosh, half a second. It's like, why? What's the point? Why not just not give you witch time until the very end of the attack? This game is confusing in the way it wants to reward the players. I've heard that one of the arguments that I've heard is that the reason why witch time is short here is because they want players to be all in the mayhem at all times. And while I can sort of get that, I also feel like it should be up to the players to be rewarded how they want to play. If they don't want to be within the chaos and they want the longer witch time, they should be allowed to be rewarded by playing with the perfect parry playstyle. If they want to get caught in the fight, they don't necessarily have to be constantly dodging for that. They can get into the fight and use their dodge offset appropriately. You know, let the players play how they want based on their skill. Don't let their skill be taken away from them just because the game has other factors that are away from their control. Okay, so I did say I was going to open up that treasure, and that is exactly what I'm going to do, so let's do that. The parry in Bayonetta 1 is so satisfying. The parry in 2 just leaves too much to be desired. Give me that! There we go. Where are the other ones? Come on. God, it's so awful being underwater. But that's just water physics, not the game itself. Oh no. I must have missed one along the way. Where is it? There it is, there it is, there it is, there's awesome. What I like is that you can get these in any order. You're not forced to do it in one way, which is a good thing. And they do give you plenty of time, so it's not really all that bad. I don't know if parries are going to give you more time in Bayonetta 3. But I am a little hopeful since they did specifically mention in that trailer for Bayonetta 3 that the timing of your dodge will give you longer witch time, so it's about paying attention in the battlefield. That gives me hopes. Now, I know Chrysaora punched in the numbers, and he did say that there were some confusing numbers on the frame data, but we still need to see more. But the fact that the trailer goes out of its way to point that out gives me hope. It really does give me hope. Bayo 3 looked like it went back to being based off your dodge. That's what I'm hoping for anyway. See, like I do have really high hopes for Bayonetta 3. I really do. After seeing that trailer and watching it over and over and watching Chrysaora's analysis on how the combat is going to work. And by the way, if you haven't already, you should really check out Chrysaora's video. Chrysaora, if you're still in the chat, you are more than welcome to put that video in the chat. I will make sure to put that video in the description of this video. And also I will make it pop up in the corner of the screen right. Let's see, I'm going to point it right now. Right there, you will see the video pop up in that corner of the screen. This will happen during the video on demand moment. But yeah, if you're still here, Chrysaora, you are free to share that video. It is a really good video, and it gives me so much hope that Bayonetta 3 will be good. I feel like Bayonetta 3 is going to mesh the good stuff from both Bayonetta 1 and 2 to give us a really good game. That's how I feel, you know? Oh, what do we got here? I actually love the design of this boss. He's a swordsman. Literally. His head is a sword. It's actually a really fucking cool character design in my personal opinion. Fuck you. That's pretty much what Bayonetta is thinking right now. Fear the sting of Valiance!
I'm afraid I don't have time to dance too long. A friend is waiting for me.
Oh, ooh, I dodged that like the draft. Come on. Oh, okay, that actually felt really good. Even though I can't do stylish air combos, I will say the game does do a great job of making you feel powerful. Like, okay, I do want to mention, like, yeah. God, there goes Loki talking shit. Anyway, look. So, I will say, if there's one praise I do want to give to Bayonetta 2 is that the game really does make you feel so good. While it's not easy to do super fancy schmancy blippity the blebble combos in this game, when you're in that zen, when you're in that moment where you're just mashing out those combos and bringing out that Umbran Climax, it can definitely feel good. So that's the praise that I do want to give to Bayonetta 2. It definitely makes you feel like a badass with minimum effort. I just wish that you could take that badass feeling and level it up way up high with more intricate mechanics. But unfortunately, Bayonetta 2 is so watered down in its mechanics that it really does feel held back. But when battling these enemies, oh yeah, it really does feel good. Okay, hold on. Before I jump down, I want to make sure... Yeah, there is a hidden verse here. Look, that's how they get you. You could jump down, and if you weren't paying attention, you'll end up passing the point of no return. Valiance's top tier design? Absolutely. And I love that he is a giant reference to the Wonderful 101. Don't believe me? I will bring up the papers and show you. MUSPELHEIM, don't get hit. Basically, play the game like if you're going for a pure platinum. Wow, that was it? That was boring. You can climb back up? Well, I won't doubt it, but in my personal experience, I tried and I couldn't do it. Maybe there is a way to climb back up and I'm just a dumbass. Remember, I'm not really good at this game. Oh, also, if you look carefully, there is a crow over there. Let's see if we can grab it. Got it. This is not too important because we're playing the game on the Switch. But back on the Wii U, if you collected those hidden crows, you would be rewarded with this thing called a stamp. Now, this is one thing that I really do miss from the Wii U. And I actually had a talk about this morning on my Bayonetta Discord group, which you should check out. Check the description. In my Discord group, I was talking about the Miiverse, which is a social app that Nintendo used to have. It was essentially like... The best way to describe it would be, it was kind of like a mixture of Twitter and... Excuse me. It was a mixture of Twitter and GameFAQs. It was a social place where people could talk about the games that the 3DS and the Wii U had. And Bayonetta 2 had a special section for it. So did Bayonetta 1. When you collect these crows, you would collect what's called a stamp. And when you go to the Miiverse, you can post an artwork. You can draw on your gamepad and post it to the Miiverse. And if you collected these stamps, you could then put like a special pre-made pixel artwork of Bayonetta for you to share online. And I always thought that was pretty cool. It gave you an incentive to collect all these stamps or all the crows to get the stamps to continue sharing online. I do miss it a lot. In fact, I actually did make a video a long time ago. I made it somewhere around the month when the Miiverse shut down. I made a tribute video about the Miiverse and all of the amazing art that it had, because you were able to like the art and put it in a collection in your page. So in my video, it's basically just 41 minutes of all these really cool artworks that I saw on Miiverse. You should check it out. The video is called Miiverse Memorial, and when this video goes on demand, I'll make sure to link it. It'll pop up right there right now. It should be right there. You'll see that once this video is available on demand. But yeah, you should check it out. It's a really good video, and it's one of the things that I miss about the Miiverse, and it's what really made the Wii U special. And it's kind of sad that Nintendo did not capitalize on that social media app for the Switch. I totally get why, though. They wanted to bank on Twitter for its social service, because it allows games to get that free advertisement without Nintendo having to do it themselves. Didn't the Valiance design predate Wonderful 101? It was one of the unused angels. I actually don't know. If you guys know that, go ahead and answer, because there's only so much about the history of Wonderful 101 and Bayonetta that I know. Ooh, I dodged that like the draft again. You're not taking me to the army. There we go. Oh my god. Those are 2 bat withins that I was able to squeak out.
So, they're after you too then? Have you been naughty? Keeping
Naughty.
secrets from Mummy?
Nope. Nothing comes to mind, love. Sorry. But since this is your bloody mess, do you mind hurrying the fuck up and getting rid of this thing?
Now, that's no way to talk to a lady. No wonder your guardian angels are trying to give you a good spanking.
Whatever, love. You've already been following me, so let's make a deal. You save me, I'll show you around this joint. Heading to Fimbulventr, aren't we? That makes 2 of us. And it'll take 2 of us, won't it, love?
You seem to have skipped school the day they taught basic negotiation skills. You're supposed to negotiate from a position of strength, little one. Not just be a one-trick pony.
Words of wisdom. Exactly. That's what I was referencing. Freaky Fred. It was so naughty. I can't do the voice, but yeah. It was positively. Wait, I gotta drink some water for this.
Why you're going to the mountain? Take me there and make it quick.
Always stay hydrated. It was positively naughty.
Stop! Before I show you the way, love.
At 7 in the morning, I have a much better voice.
Do we need to go over my lesson?
Hey, Yuka, what's going on? Thanks for catching the stream.
We don't react very well to being insulted, little one.
Well then, I don't react to being called little one. The name's Loki. And what should I call you, I mean, man.
Do I look like a man to you?
You look more like a mommy.
Take your pick.
There, I threw out the obvious joke.
CUHRAYZEE. You don't look like a CUHRAYZEE to me.
Oh, trust me, she is a CUHRAYZEE. Unless you talk to all of the really hardcore Bayonetta fan theorists out there that suggest that she is not CUHRAYZEE. She is someone else, I think. Okay. Okay, go ahead, Loki. Do your stuff. Thank you very much. Nope, I'm not keeping up with you. Concocting. I actually like that the game goes out of its way to explain to you that you can create items, but it does it in a very weird way where it's like, you can do it, but they don't tell you where to do it. Oh, wait, hold on. I want to read that entry. I want to make sure that I'm not missing out on anything. Oh, no, wait. That's the witch's recipe, which I was talking about earlier. Hold on. Where is it? I want to find that book. There it is. Here we go. Valiance. Valiance is a first sphere cherub considered particularly ascendant as a spiritual being. Even among the other angels, physical shape means little to angels of this rank. They exist in a metaphysical form that demonstrates the majesty of God. The most ambitious and brave of the cherubim, there are some sources that believe Valiance first arrived on Earth thousands of years ago, riding a comet of God's wrath that destroyed everything in its way. Valiant's sword, the Valiantium Blade, is said to have the power to cut into anything in Paradiso or Inferno, and is prophesied to one day assist a team of over 100 heroes in saving humanity from an invading evil. I wonder what game they're talking about. I'm kind of certain they're talking about Pikmin. Oh, we got another place to battle these enemies. Oh wow, I think Loki saved my life. Oh, come on. I could have sworn I was going to dodge that. You tell that brick wall, Bayonetta. We got this giant metallic beast to deal with. Well, he's not really metallic, but he is wearing a lot of shiny metal things all over his body. There we go. Very nice. Unite hand weaves would be hella cool. Yes, it would be! Oh dear lord, that would be fucking amazing. I would kill to see like unite hand combos. Actually, it'd be so fucking cool if Bayonetta was able to don the Wonder Mask in Bayonetta 3 as a callback to the fact that Bayonetta was once part of the Wonderful 101 team, where she will tap into the Wonderful 101's ability to become a giant morphed red Bayonetta. That would be fucking sick, you know? By the way, another change that I like with Bayonetta 2, you can now hold on to the weapons, or I should say the angel weapons, and only use them when you press the pistol button. I think it's a nice change, although I kind of do miss how in Bayonetta 1 you had 2 different attacks for the angel weapons depending on whether you press punch or kick. But here I feel like it's a good mixture of what they did, where you are free to do any combo you want and then finish it off with the angel weapon. I think that's a good change. Now, I know some people in the comments were going, hey, you missed a verse, and no, I did not. I deliberately skipped it so that I could come back and use this angel weapon on the enemies. You think I'm naive? Well, I am, but I know a thing or two about this game. There we go.
You've been naughty.
Now there is another treasure here that we need to uncover. I really do like that this game encourages players to explore, and they are rewarded for exploring. That's a good thing. I do hope that Bayonetta 3 allows players to continue exploring. There's so much to find in that game. And I mean, it really does look like they're going to encourage exploration because, good God, I love that clip where you can be a spider and crawl around the walls and swing. Holy cow, that's freaking cool. Oh my god, yeah. Dude. Frozen Grigas, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right. That combo entry that he did for the collab video was so cool. That part in that combo that he did where he was like lifting the enemies up into the air, like it was complete serendipity that I was able to make the song match with his combo. You see, I had the song picked out really early on, like super early. Like I think that was one of the very first songs that I had in the back of my head to use for the combo video. When I was editing the combos using the clips that people were sending to me, I was having a tough time trying to figure out what to put in that segment where the song is building up and it's going dun 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 dun, give it to me, baby. And it's like, oh man, I need a clip. And then when Frozen gave me that clip where he was going up with the enemies, I was like, perfect. It was so serendipitous. It was beautiful. It's like, I'm so glad that he made that combo because it worked so well with the song that I had picked out. I love it when things just fall into place like that. You have a good one, DJ Rapscallion. I do thank you for watching the stream. I understand that not everyone is able to watch this from beginning to end. I totally get that. But nonetheless, thank you for stopping on by. You are all such cool people for watching this stream. I don't know why you guys watch me, because I'm not good at this game.
Well now, looks like you found a good reason to visit. You know, I'm all about them Angelic Hymns gold LPs.
The gold LPs. I actually forgot I picked this one up. Completely forgot.
And the demons will be lined
I believe the weapon that Rodon's gonna give me is the Rakshasa, which is a really cool sword weapon.
That LP is just what the doctor ordered. Now hand it over, and I'll go get my swerve on. This motherfucker did not want to listen to reason, but it's all good, cause neither did I. Put him to work.
Oh yeah, Rakshasa, baby. These are really cool weapons because for the first time ever, you can now equip swords to Bayonetta's feet, which is kind of wild. I don't necessarily need to buy the alts, but it does suck that I can't have both the weapons equipped to my hands and feet right now. I want to focus more on buying the techniques before I can buy additional weapons. And this time, I am definitely going to buy Umbran Spear, which is a very, very important ability. It allows you to warp to the nearest enemy at the cost of 2 magic bars. So it'd be like this. You see that? That is good. It's even better in the first game. So I'll go ahead and buy that. And I think I have enough halos so that I can buy something else. I think I'm gonna go with Heel Slide. Now, even though Heel Slide was heavily nerfed in this game, I still think it has its uses. So we'll go ahead and purchase that, and let's get the hell out of here. Alright, let's go ahead and equip that. There we go. Unfortunately, I cannot have both Rakshasas, which kind of lame, but yeah. There we go. Super fast weapons. Also has one of the best AoE attacks when you're in Umbran Climax form, which is this move. Mash the button when doing Bullet Climax to keep spinning. Now, if you jump down into this water, there is a hidden verse here. I never really understood why you can't Umbran Spear against flying swinging bosses despite being able to use it underwater. And that's actually a good question. I feel like that may have been an oversight. I wish I could tell you. There's a lot of things about Bayonetta 2 that makes me question things, and I feel like a lot of it has to be oversights because this game, if you didn't know, was developed by the B team of PlatinumGames. Now, if you don't know what that means, the A team means the main bulk of the team, while the B team handled the smaller projects. The B team were the people responsible for games like Legend of Korra, Transformers Devastation, and the Ninja Turtles game. They were also tasked with making Bayonetta 2. The reason why the B team were working on Bayonetta 2 was because the A team were busy working on Scalebound. I wonder whatever happened to that game. But yeah, you can definitely tell that so many corners had to be cut with Bayonetta 2 because this was handled by the B team. So many of the stuff that Bayonetta 2 has were adopted from the first game. A lot of it was cut and paste, but also tweaking it and giving it a fresh new coat of paint. So I can't really fault the B team for making the game the way it turned out. That's partially why, you know, I'm so indifferent with Bayonetta 2, because many of the accidents that the game does have feels like it's more deliberately being placed against the player rather than having those like open-ended problems that the first game has that allows players to really exploit the combat system. Here it just feels more restricting. Like, I feel like the teams were like trying their best to close the mistakes that they had made so that players don't discover them. But I also feel like them doing that is what led to this game having a lower skill ceiling in the skill factor, you know? Anyway, let's move on.
Try to keep up. Slow down, will ya?
Shut up, Loki! Like, how many fucking times is Loki gonna say that shit? It's like, try to keep up, try to keep up. Oh wait, hold on, slow down.
Sure, just because you asked, tall, dark, and ugly, that makes total sense.
Loki talks shit, but Bayonetta has to be the one to protect them, because she knows Loki can't do shit. Woo! I love them bat within dodges. There we go. Stomp him till he's dead. Feel the boot. Is Bayonetta 3 made by the B team or the A team? Unfortunately, we do not have that answer. If I were to take a huge guess, I would say it's the B team. I mean, I'm sorry. I'll take that back. I believe it's the A team working on the Bayonetta 3 game. And I believe it's the A team because the B team are currently working on all of the leftover stuff that we have yet to see. Like a certain little DLC that a certain little wonderful game is sorely missing out on right now. At least I hope so.
If we're going to have to meet any more of your friends, you'd better learn to take care of yourself.
I also don't know who was the team behind Babylon's Fall. I wish I could tell you. These are all just guesses, so your guess is as good as mine, but I kind of want to say that it's the A team that's working on Bayonetta 3. I mean, the game already feels like a massive improvement compared to Bayonetta 2. In terms of its visuals, in terms of its spectacles, in terms of just how much stuff is crammed into it. It's not a simple copy-paste game. It feels like Bayonetta 3 is being built from the ground up, rather than Bayonetta 2, which feels like it took many of the same code from the first game to make the second game possible. So, I don't know. I wish I could tell you. I'm not a total genius when it comes to that sort of thing.
Like my new haircut?
By the way, I feel like it's already too late of a question to ask, but is the game audio too loud? Like, do you guys think the audio for the game is loud to the point that it's obscuring my own voice? Because I'm a little worried that the game is coming in a little loud, that you guys are having a hard time hearing what I have to say. If the balance seems right, then I'll just proceed a little further. But, you know, I was a little worried because I was looking at the bar on my OBS and it kind of looked like that the game audio was too loud, but I'm not sure. So if it's not too loud, we're good. Audio's perfect? Awesome. You guys are awesome. I love you all. So, okay. What time is it? It's about to be 5. I guess I can stick around for another half hour, so I think I'm good for one more chapter. Then after that, I'm going to wrap it up, and I will try to find the next time to be able to stream Bayonetta 2. Alright, let's go back to the shop and see if there's anything I can purchase. I would definitely love to try to get some of the techniques here. Even though I said parries are kind of terrible in this game, I still think that they are beneficial because it allows you to escape any incoming attacks, especially the ones that are really, really fast. So let's see if Muna Mahakala's here. It is, but it is hella expensive. Yeah, there's no way I'll be able to get Muna Mahakala like early on. And that's a shame. I mean, I guess I could go for Mallet of Reward at some point. I believe that would give you more halos after doing torture attacks, although I'm not really the kind of person that uses torture attacks in this game since Umbran Climax trounces everything else, you know? I don't think there really is anything else I can get. Well, I can certainly get one of these. Let's see. I think I'll go with... I'll get Stiletto. I'll get Stiletto. More mobile options are a good thing. Okay, hold on. Let me sit up a bit. The thing I hate about this chair is that I tend to start slipping down after a certain amount of time. I hate this gamer chair, so at some point I'm gonna look into getting myself an ergonomic office chair, and I'll try to get that before Bayonetta 3 comes out. That way, when I start playing Bayonetta 3, the last thing that's on my mind is how comfy I am. Or I should say how uncomfortable I am. I don't know the thing I want is to be super comfortable while playing Bayonetta 3. And I mean, I am comfortable right now, but because of the way this chair is designed, I'm slipping down, you know? Oh, hey, look at this. It's Luka.
So,
We haven't seen him in a
our
while.
fates and our paths cross once again.
I just like how he makes his debut by walking around the roof. You didn't really miss much, Sliding Panda Man. I just simply finished the first chapter.
Whoa! Bingo.
I love this guy. He's so stupidly elegant and elegantly stupid. Whoops. Sorry, Luka. You're not able to grab Bayonetta just yet. Oh no, I know that for a fact. See, the thing about this chair is that this was a gift that my friend gave me. Because the old chair that I had was already breaking apart, and it was a chair that I had for like many years. And while this chair was a good fix, it sort of started to wear out pretty quickly. So yeah, I'm gonna be on the lookout for a good office chair. I'm gonna see if my company can give me one of theirs, because we have a bunch of ergonomic chairs and they're some of the best that I've ever used.
Will you quit calling me that? I'm not a pet or a cat. Oh wait, you said Luka. Not used to that. How are you, Bayonetta?
No matter where I am, you always know how to make an entrance. Nice glasses.
Oh, these? Rodan has a soft spot for Shinshu sake from Japan. It was an easy trade to get him to make these for me.
You know,
And don't get it
Bayonetta looks great with that hat. I'm kind of sad that there isn't an option for you to be able to play the game with that hat.
Look, I know you've got nothing but secrets. Hell, that goes for anyone, right? But if there's one thing I've learned in my line of work, it's when I found you, I found the story.
What on earth are you on about this time?
Don't act dumb with me. You know the story better than anyone. The Umbra Witches and the Lumen Sages, two clans that wielded incredible power just 500 years ago. The clans of the Overseer, watching over us all with the eyes of the world, the power to govern light and darkness. But now I know that there really was an Overseer. And this Overseer is the one who created the eyes of the world
Sasuke
for
become a
humanity.
reporter.
The same ones that the clans held on to so hard. The Overseer.
I don't watch Naruto, so
The true
I don't
God
exactly
of the
hear
realm.
Sasuke, but I know what you guys are getting
God
at.
of chaos.
The god of chaos?
From what my research has told me, that god used to live right here in Noatu. That's why this place has gateways to each realm of the Trinity of Realities. La Porta del Paradiso, the doorway to heaven, and La Porta del Inferno, the real gates of hell. Listen, I heard about John. What the? Some squirrels get all the nuts. You're a lucky little fella, huh? Never took you for an animal lover, Bayonetta.
What can I say? I took a liking to
An
one of
animal
the locals.
lover.
So he's your little tour guide, huh? Look, I know this isn't the time to chat. Let me see what I can find out to help you.
Just don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong, Cheshire.
Don't you worry about my nose. I can smell trouble when I see it. You just take care of yourself.
Squadala! Once again, I gotta reiterate, Luka is elegantly stupid and stupidly elegant. I love this dude. Let's see. There's a lot of stuff here that I do not remember, so I really gotta explore hard here. But I know that there is a hidden verse here. It's pretty obvious, actually. Use enemy arms. Now, this is pretty much the same as the angel weapons Alfheims in the first game, but there is one difference here. You're actually kind of forced to use all of the angel weapons here, because when you use an angel weapon, that angel weapon disappears and you're only left with whatever's left over. So you have to use them all so that everything resets and everything pops up. And to be honest, I am not a big fan of that. I feel like it should be left up to the players to decide what angel weapon they want to use. I mean, I kind of get that they're doing this in a way so that players can explore and find all the angel weapons so they can see how they all work, but I feel like it should be left up to the players to figure that out for themselves. That kind of limitation makes these segments way more headache inducing when going for a pure platinum run. Also a shame that you're not able to take the angel weapon with you once you're done.
You've been naughty.
There we go. Another full moon. Oh yeah, the MGR cat. The very famous agile cat that can never take a single point of damage. I mean, yeah, it is a challenge. I'm not saying it's not. But in the first game, the challenge was already, giving you the challenge was already trying to get to the angel weapon, because if you try to hit the enemies with anything that's not an angel weapon, you'll get propelled back. I feel like it should be left up to the players to figure out what angel weapon they want to focus on. I mean, yeah, okay, there is some challenge to be had, but I feel like it feels more frustrating the way they have it set up, even if it's meant to be challenging. I don't know, that's my point of view on that. Yeah, there's the cat. This fucking cat looks so stupid when it does a backflip. Yep. It looks so stupid. It's so dumb. I can't help but love this. It just looks so out of place. I mean, just imagine you're walking down the street and this cat is just doing a backflip out of nowhere. Now, if we continue underwater, there is a hidden segment here for us to find. At least I think there's a hidden verse. Again, it's been a long time since I played this game, so there's a lot of things that I'm probably not going to be able to remember. Although that does make me wonder, why is there like a secret bit here? It feels like it should lead to something, but it really does lead to nowhere. Making sure to be thorough. Don't mind me. I guess that's pretty much everything, I suppose. For a UI thing, I don't like how most weapons also use the special attack symbol for angel arms and crow feathers. Makes them less unique. I suppose. Oh, damn. I actually forgot about that incoming attack. There we go. I know there is a verse that you have to head back to. Rules of Nature! You know they had to throw in that reference. This game came out a little bit after MGR, so they had to toss it in there. It's so hilarious that they even went out of their way to toss that in there. Oh no! My brain! It's full of television! The laws of the universe. Now, I could proceed further, but if you run back here, there is indeed a hidden verse. Whoa, okay. I was wondering, like, why did the game pause while I dodged? And that is much better. I guess from here we can proceed, so... yeah, let me just make sure that I'm grabbing everything that I can. Don't mind me, I'm just breaking down these fruit stands so I can collect the halos. Because that totally makes sense. Now we can proceed through the whirlpool. Which, by the way, this is a pretty freaking cool effect. It's really cool water effects that PlatinumGames animated here.
Where did you learn that trick, little one? I've never seen a witch, or a sage for that matter, pull off something like that.
Come on, love. You think I'm just gonna tell you my secrets when I don't even know whose side you're on? All right. It seems I can control the remembrance of time. That's a big deal here.
It seems?
I mean, no. I got nothing else to say, love.
The remembrance of time.
What's that you're looking at?
Right, let's go. I've got a party and I've no intention of being late.
You can be fashionably late. No one will hold it against you. Now, I do believe we gotta head back out, because there is a hidden verse back here. Yep. There we go. Ooh, that felt pretty good. What do I think about the scythe? I think it's a pretty underwhelming weapon. There's actually a lot of weapons in this game that leave me a little underwhelmed. But when I find the weapon, I'll be able to explain in details why I find it underwhelming. I mean, on its own, it's pretty cool, but the concept that it has leaves a lot to be desired. Like, for me, the Rakshasa are probably the top tier weapons in Bayonetta 2. They're fast, relentless, does quite a lot of damage, has the charge ability, which benefits a lot when doing pure platinum runs. No breather when using Rakshasa, and that makes them really good. Let's see. Ride like the wind, Bullseye! This was actually a pointless attack because there's no one else to hit this with, but at least I killed it. Gee, kid, do you need a Tylenol or something?
If you were gone, it'd all be...
Chain Chomp is actually a pretty damn good weapon, but unfortunately you're not going to see it in this run. Because in order to unlock the Chain Chomp, you have to beat the game, I believe, in hard mode, and I'm playing the game on normal. And the only other way to unlock it quickly would be if I use an amiibo, but like I said earlier, I'm going to avoid using amiibos. Now, like someone in the chat said, if you break down these chests, you will find a hidden verse. Okay, enough telling me about these items. I don't need to know about these items. There we go. Whew, that's a nice finish.
You've been naughty.
Another pure plat. I love it. Alright. Yeah, even though the camera is forcing itself onto that view, we gotta visit the gates of hell so I can get that weapon. What could it be? What is that LP that I picked up?
Another LP. No rest for the wicked. Even if I am jollier than the average demon. But no need to pity me.
Oh no, yeah, Bayonetta 2 is a very
Right
pretty
back.
game.
This one's gonna
There
be
are
fun.
some issues when it comes to its visuals though, and that's not something I'll bring up
Been
until I
looking
get to
for a
that
workout
part.
like this for a while.
You'll see what I'm talking about later on. I believe it's not in this chapter, it's in the next one, but I will unfortunately have to leave that particular topic for the next stream.
You know how they say life's a bitch? Try being dead for a couple millennia. Makes a demon cranky as shit. Don't think this demon will be complaining anymore.
The Kafka! The worst weapon in the game, in my opinion, but it's also my favorite, which is also a shame. The Kafka is such a cool weapon in concept, but it leaves so much to be desired. It's basically a bow and arrow, which in and of itself is a really cool weapon. My problem with it, I'll get to it in a minute. I'll tell you all about it. Give me 1 second. Before we do, let me see if there's any other techniques I can talk, or I should say I should grab. Honestly, I think I'm good. I feel like I could spend more time just collecting more halos before getting most of these things. You know what? Yeah, I'll skip on that for now. Alright, so let me go ahead and talk a little bit about Kafka, because it is my favorite weapon, but it's also one that I don't think is as good as many people make it out to be. The problem that I have with Kafka is that it really is only one thing. It shoots bows. That's all it really does. Technically, it does have a melee attack in the form of the stiletto, which is cool. But again, it leaves a lot to be desired. The problem that I have with the Kafka is that I guess it really is more of a support weapon. It's the kind of weapon where you attack an enemy doing all of your regular combos. Then, when you're at a distance, you go ahead and you start hitting the enemy with the bow and arrows. Because the arrows do poison the enemies, which is cool, but the poison doesn't do as much damage as it should. And now, I know it's poison. You don't want poison to be so powerful that it kills the enemies while you're, like, by just letting them stand there with the poison or something. But the thing is, I want to start going into a little bit more depth as to why I really don't think the weapons in Bayonetta 2 are that impressive to me. Because what made the weapons in Bayonetta 1 so good, in my personal opinion, was the fact that it made great use of both melee and projectiles at the same time. Now granted, most of the melee attacks were all borrowed templates from Scarborough Fair. So if you had like the Kilgore, not the Kilgore, if you had the Onyx Rose or the Bazillions or the handguns or even Siphon when you throw it, the punch combos would all be the same thing. You know, the Scarborough Fair punches. But what made every weapon unique was the projectiles that it had. Onyx Rose had very powerful shotgun blasts, capable of stunning enemies. Bazillions have laser. It's the laser attack that allows you to keep enemies locked in the air. Siphon has a unique ability that allows you to toss the Siphon to an enemy to keep them sustained in the air. There was a lot of cool, very creative weapons in Bayonetta 1 that adhered to both the melee and the projectile concept. Now, of course, not every weapon were projectiles. You had Shiraba and you had Odette. But for those weapons are very minimal to the rest of what we had. There was a lot of cool creative weapons. Now, in Bayonetta 2, there was less emphasis on projectiles and more emphasis on melee. So most of the combos that you have in Bayonetta 2 were designed around just you doing melees. Of course, you have weapons that have really good projectiles like Kafka and Scarborough Fair. But for those weapons, those are minimal compared to the rest of what we have, like the Rakshasa, very powerful melee weapon. You have the chainsaws, which are called salamandras, very powerful melee attacks, no projectiles. You have the hammer, very powerful melee weapon, no projectiles. You had Shiraba coming back, which is already a powerful very powerful melee weapon. Like, what I mean to say is, like, all the weapons were all powerful melee weapons with very little emphasis on projectiles. And I feel like there should have been a way to design these weapons to focus on being both projectile and melee based. So if I had if I had my way of designing the weapons in Bayonetta 2, and specifically if I had my way of designing the Kafka, I would love for Kafka to be a staff weapon. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but there is a character in Mortal Kombat 10. I forgot his name, but he's a character that uses a bow and arrow, but he always fights using the bow like if it was a stick. So he swings it around and like smacks people with the stick, right? But then when you're at a distance, you could turn the stick into a bow and start shooting projectiles at your enemies. So I feel like for the Kafka, it should have been a stick weapon or a staff weapon, where when you do your melee attacks, Bayonetta is swinging the bow like a stick. Like, maybe it's a little bit like Shiraba, but with more wilder swings. Like, you already have this melee attack. I think it's pretty freaking cool. There should have been more like this. Then, when you finish doing your swings and you're holding down the punch button, then you go into the bow attack. And that's how you get the projectiles out. that should have been the way the weapon should have been designed. Yeah, Kungjin, thank you all so much. That is the name of the dude. I feel like that should have been the way Kafka was designed. Instead, Kafka was designed more as a support weapon, where after you're done doing like these melee attacks and you shove the enemy away, you can then swap over to Kafka and throw out your projectiles and then go back in and start doing your combos again. It's cool, but that's all you can really do with this weapon. And surprisingly, even though I say it's one of the worst weapons in the game, it also happens to be one of my favorites because it really does have really cool projectiles. Like, it even has this bullet climax where you just shoot bows like crazy, making it really good for juggling enemies, like certain enemies in the air and whatnot. Also, the thing I don't like about Kafka is the pause combos leave a lot to be desired too. The pause combos are this, that. Bayonetta will just take a step back and shoot another bow. I feel like pause combos should have been something else. I remember having a discussion with my friends online and I mentioned that maybe they can make pause combos more significant by making it where when you go into a pause combo, you're swapping different types of ammos for your bow. So imagine you do a pause combo and it allows you to swap to ice arrows. So now you have frozen arrows. And if you do another pause combo, you go into fire arrows. And then if you go into another pause combo, you go back to the poison arrows. I feel like that could have been a good incentive for doing pause combos, because really, what is this pause combo? Again, it's just a pseudo dodge. What is cool about it is that if you do a pause combo, like at the right moment when an enemy attacks you, you actually get a witch time for doing this attack. You can actually get a witch time for doing that special dodge. But as cool as that sounds, that pause combo ends up being obsolete when you can just dodge offset. That's why I don't like the pause combo that Kafka has. Oh yeah, that's right, the G pistol. Like, oh my god, the G pistol did exactly what I was asking for. People thought I was crazy when I said this. I told people there needs to be more weapons that is a great combination of melee and projectile. And I was telling people, imagine if the hammer had a projectile. And there were people on Discord discussion saying, no, that is too busted, that is too broken, that is stupid, the hammer is already good on its own. Well, here we are! We have a hammer that doubles as a rifle cannon. Suck it! Yeah! I am gonna love that weapon so much. Alright, if we proceed further, there should be another verse. Yep. Yes, that is the name of the weapon. G pistol. Come inside! The frog needs to eat something! Yummy, yummy, yummy! Sure beats drinking Budweiser. Of of course, we can continue, but there is a hidden verse over here. I wonder who got Hellena Taylor to do tryouts for voice acting Bayonetta 1 in the first place. That's a good question. I do know that a lot of these voice actors always have to come in to do auditions, and everyone has to listen to the auditions to see who does it best. And, well, I know for a fact that PlatinumGames, when they heard Hellena Taylor, she was the perfect role. And she is. Hellena Taylor is perfect as Bayonetta. So I'm really hoping they didn't discard her for Bayonetta 3. I know there's those rumors that there's like an alternate Bayonetta, and that's the one that's being played by Hellena Taylor. But somehow, I kind of have doubts about that. But I would like to be wrong. There we go. That was pretty simple.
Bad boy.
Alright. She also mentioned in an interview that PlatinumGames was surprised on how much she looked like Bayonetta. Yeah, she does. She does. To some extent, she does. I mean, Hellena Taylor herself is like really gorgeous. Like not drop dead gorgeous. She's like the girl next door pretty. You know what I mean? Kind of reminds me a lot of Sandra Bullock actually. And I don't know if I ever mentioned it, but I really do have a big celebrity crush on Sandra Bullock. Her and Elizabeth Hurley. Look at that. Platinum's all across the board. Now, I did say that this was the last chapter run, but given how the next chapter I believe is a boss fight, I should probably end this stream on a boss fight. So let's go ahead and go straight into that fight. Then after the boss fight, then I'll call it quits here, okay? Let's not waste any time. Let's go straight into the boss fight. Elizabeth Hurley and Uma Thurman do it for me. Yeah. Uma Thurman is also gorgeous. Especially in Pulp Fiction with that black Cleopatra hairstyle that she has. Ooh, baby.
Don't just walk into Fimbulventer. We're going to have to be creative, love, if we're ever going to make it. Look over there. That's the Cathedral of Cascades. It was used for ritual worship of the mountain. Inside, there's a device that can build a bridge to the heavens. It'll take us halfway up Fimbulventer. An express pass. Right, love?
Seems something finally came to mind, little one. While you're in the remembering mood, you wouldn't happen to know where the entrance to Inferno is up there, would you?
Inferno? You must be in some shit if you're volunteering to go there. Let me put
I
it
feel
this way,
confidently Uma
Once we
Thurman
get
can
to the
pull off a
mountain, you'll get your
Bayonetta
choice of
2
going
look
up
in her prime.
or going down.
You know what? I agree.
Fimbulventer
I still
is
think
the
Elizabeth
next
Hurley would have been the perfect choice for a live-action
Which way will
Bayonetta.
you be going?
You ever see the movie Bedazzled, where she's wearing that school teacher outfit?
What's the matter, little one?
Boy, oh
Scared
boy,
of what
man.
comes next?
Shut up! Just get me to the mountain. Little one, get away from me!
Who could it be? It's Glamor, without the U. Lopter demands your presence, assuming you survive the journey inside. Again, I gotta hand it to Platinum Games. They sure know how to make a fantastic spectacle.
This little one's made me a deal. He's my guide, and he's not done guiding. I think we're going in entirely different directions.
Right in the face. Again, this is a very amazing spectacle. It does get a little lame when you're doing pure platinum runs and you mess up and you have to do the whole thing all over again. But again, kudos to Platinum Games for making these boss fights super exciting, even if they are so not so mechanically rich. I'm gonna save my Umbran Climax for the final bit. Ah, damn it. It had to be the one piece of slab. So I think I should really talk about this bit because I know it's something that I'm going to end up talking about quite a lot in later segments. But I am not a big fan of these flying segments at all. At first glance, they look amazing, and they are. Like, these are meant to be so exciting, like, holy cow, it's the final boss fight or something of that nature. But my big problem is that since you're flying in the air, well, technically you're not flying, you're floating. You lose half of your movesets here. The only kinds of attacks you could do are ground attacks. So your afterburner kicks are missing. See, look, I cannot do my afterburner kick whatsoever. Now, you know, I know a lot of people have said to me, why would you want to do an afterburner kick in the air? You're already in the air. And it's like, why would I lose half of my movesets? The whole idea behind a boss fight should be letting the players use everything in their power to fight these enemies. But in an effort to try to make these games look so exciting, I really don't like how you lose like so much of Bayonetta's abilities just to make these things look exciting. Come on. Almost to the end. Reaching the very end, you can tell because the music is going into its climactic moment. Pointless switch time! Pointless switch time! Pointless switch time! Pointless switch time! Nope, that's not pointless. That one lasts a little longer. There we go. Plus the lack of Umbran spear. Yeah, absolutely. I'll talk more about that after the end of this. Oh my. I'll talk more about this at the end of this sequence. Okay, I'll walk away with a platinum score. No biggie.
I don't recall asking for your permission. Oh, and I was wrong about our final destination. Going down.
Away with you, you flying beast! Don't want to see your ugly face.
Fuck. The boy. Forgot about that.
Just like that. Just easily, Loki can just come flying out by shooting the boss. Even in death, the boss still has the final laugh. Ooh, okay, finally. Oh, that was a pretty long episode 1 run, but I will say this actually is a pretty long game compared to the first game. It puts you right into battle, so there's so much to cover. You know what I mean? Okay, that'll do it. That definitely will do it. I think today I'm gonna go out window shopping for another chair, because this chair definitely needs to go to hell. I need a real good office chair. But yeah, just to reiterate, because it's really hard for me to explain these things while there's so much action going on. The flying segments in Bayonetta 2 are really cool. They're meant to be a spectacle. So for a person playing the game for the very first time, it is amazing to see everything unfold like that. It's awesome. But for a person like me who loves playing these games for the depth and the mechanics, I have to say the flying bits are some of the lowest parts of the game, ironically enough. The problem is that when you're in the air, you're forced to only use your ground attacks, because they made it in a way where when you're flying in the air, your movesets are still the ground moves in order to make up for the fact that you don't have a lot of attacks when you're in the air. But since you're in the air with these types of ground attacks, that means that you don't get access to the other aerial attacks like the afterburner kick and all sorts of things, which, you know, I know it's not a huge importance, but I never like when a game has it where you lose abilities just to try to make the game look exciting. And in this case, you're losing your aerial abilities because you're already in the air, so the attacks that you have are technically the ground attacks. And also, what I don't like about the aerial fights is the way you always shift around. Like, it looks like you are able to move around because you're in this space, so you're able to move. But because the entire battle is all like predetermined like scenarios, like where you have to fight this boss and then that boss and then the boss in front of you, it's all just scripted sequences where you have to wait until Bayonetta is in the right position for you to start attacking the boss. That is kind of lame. Like, yes, when you're watching this fight for the very first time, it's awesome. because you're forced to go through these scripted sequences, it doesn't really feel like you have that much control over Bayonetta. You lose half your movesets, and you're forced to always shift around to where the game wants you to be to fight these bosses. It's not fun. And the worst part about it is, there's a lot of these fights in this game. Almost every boss you encounter has at least one flying bit. And I just don't like that. So, I know it sounds like I'm ending it on a negative term here, but I will say that for all the faults this game has, like I said, there are so many good things that this game really has. The visuals are great. The game really does have that really feel-good nature to it. It really does make you feel like a badass. I just really wish the game would embrace the mechanical side of things. I love Bayonetta 1 a lot because it lets me exploit so much stuff. It lets me push beyond what the game wants me to do. It's like I can break the rules and be able to express myself. Here, it feels like I'm being held back. That's one of the big problems that Bayonetta 2 has. But, aside from all that, it is a pretty good game. And I'm hoping that I can finish this soon enough. So, this will be the end of episode 1 right here. And hopefully, I'll be able to stream the rest of this game in the following weeks. I should be free to stream Bayonetta 2 next week Friday, same hour, same time. So, I guess I'll end it right here. So, for those of you out there who managed to stick around from the very beginning to the end of this stream, I thank you all very much for tuning in. You guys are amazing people. I wouldn't have it any other way. You are all wonderful individuals. I would love to meet you all someday face to face. We'll see how that all goes. But until next time, stay wonderful. Catch you on the flip side, everyone. Have a good evening.